So this is what I normally tell to my clients when I'm going to spank them. I like to do it in sort of a rhythm. I spank you, you say the number. I spank you, you say the number. And if you fall out of rhythm or you forget what number we're on, we start over. And I'm sure you don't want to impress me with a low number, right?
I want to go with 11.
Okay. All right. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
You fall out of rhythm. I spank you, you say the number. Yeah, you can't rush it. I spank, so just say, so I spank you, 1. Spank you, 2.
Okay.
Okay.
1, 2,
There you
3.
go. On the rhythm again. Okay, start over again.
1.
Okay, I spank you, you say the number. Okay, here, I'll do the first couple numbers with you, okay?
Okay. 1,
1,
2.
2.
Oh, okay. 3.
3.
Oh, 4.
4.
5. 6.
6.
7. 8.
8.
9. 10. 11.
11.
Woo! Woo!
See, I would make the person start over several times, but since
Thanks
you're
for
a
doing
guest
it.
instead of a client,
Woo!
it's a little different. Yeah.
So, Mistress, which one of those paddles did you spank me with?
This one.
I didn't know the store Tiffany's had Dom paddles.
Yeah, I don't think that they necessarily gave their consent to being used, but I got it at a spanking convention. One of my clients actually bought it for me.
Oh, nice. Nice. So, what is it with people wanting to be tied up?
Well, it kind of more of the mind play of it. That way, you're really fully submitting, and I can tie people up really tight, or I can do it loose so they feel comfortable still. Especially if it's their first time, then I'll do it kind of loose so they can, if they decide that they're uncomfortable with it, they can kind of get out of it if they wanted to. But it's more of just fully submitting and realizing that they're not in charge. But then some people are really into bondage where it is the tying up that excites them.
Yeah.
And so it's different for everybody.
I've never got into tying up women, but I know, especially when I was younger, I used to, when a woman really wanted to move, I just used to just low key know where to hold them so they just couldn't move.
Yeah. But again, it would be kind of just the you're in charge and they're being tied up, they're just kind of just asserting your dominance, I guess. But also blindfolding, a lot of people don't know why people blindfold. It's when you take away one of the senses, the other senses are heightened. So if you get rid of your sense of sight, then your sense of touch is stronger. So they might have a better orgasm at the end.
And if a man has erectile dysfunction, then his sense of tongue is better.
Well, I guess, but I don't do it stuff like that in my sessions. I don't get naked and nobody gets to touch me.
Yeah, for sure. So, what is that big red thing?
This is one of the toys, not a commonly used toy, but there are some people that it definitely has been used, and of course everything is sterilized. And this one is too big for a condom to fit over it, but so it's just extra sterilized when it's used. But otherwise, I put condoms on all the toys when I use them. But that's bigger than my fist, actually.
Got it. So what's the most liberal thing that somebody's ever asked you to do?
I don't know. Well, I guess the ultimate form of dominating is strap-on type stuff. That's actually pretty common because when people have an inner orgasm and an outer orgasm at the same time, people say it's life-changing or whatever. That's the most common thing that people come for, and some people like to be dressed up in women's clothes. That's also pretty popular. But I think those two would be the most.
So as you were explaining before off camera, what's your lowest end range price wise, and what do you do for that all the way up to your highest range?
Well, it's the lowest it is $300 per hour or $200 for a half an hour.
And what do you get for that?
Just a regular session. The only sessions that cost more are the shit eating, which is definitely more rare, but it is more common than you would think. And that I charge like.
So explain shit eating to me and the audience.
Well, they get to. Well, and also a plus is I've been a vegetarian my whole life. I've never eaten meat, not even chicken or turkey or anything like that. So supposedly, there's a big following for my shit, and people like to eat it. So
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of eating shit, but
yeah,
but I've eaten crow on many occasions. So go ahead and explain some of those other things on the table and how you use and how you work with your clients, i.e. slaves.
Well, sometimes people want to be locked up in chastity. I put the chastity device on them, and then I lock them up, and I keep the key so they can't get out of it unless I unlock them. And it can be for a determined amount of time, or it can be whatever our agreement is, and then we sign a contract. So, but then sometimes they want to be let out early, and it just depends on what the agreement was originally. If they say no matter what, then they don't want to be out of it for 6 months, then I make them stick with it. Or if they want to get out of it and they said ahead of time that they would like the option if they want it out early, then they still have to pay for another session in order to be unlocked.
Do they stay in the dungeon with that, or could
No.
there be a judge that with that under his robe?
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah. Well, they have to buy the device if they leave with it, and then
There's no return policy.
no. Yeah.
Got it. And is that a mouth gag?
Yeah, ball gag.
Ball
yeah.
gag.
Mm-hmm. And that's what they keep. Sometimes they'll try to it's really important when they come to the door that they come as a submissive. If they try to they try to tell me what to do, which isn't going to happen, and then or they just keep talking throughout the session, it kind of ruins it because people are in their head as opposed to just enjoying the session and what happens to them. Then they get a ball gag but some people request it.
I want to get those for my lift. Put it on the passengers as I'm driving.
Yeah. Yeah, it comes in pretty handy. And then there's all kinds of different ball gags. This is just a pretty standard one. And I always put a condom on it just to, And there's some that have little dicks on them so that it's like they're sucking a dick when they have the ball gag. And then there's this one that is definitely uncomfortable, but some people like it. And it keeps their mouth open. It's kind of the opposite. So you can insert whatever you want through the hole or whatever. They can't really talk either way with this in either. So, which is usually the goal. Shut them up. And then this is sounding. It's what when you put something in their pee hole. And some people go all the way up.
Did you put that in the pee hole?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I have all different sizes, and some people go up to the size. Sometimes I've had requests for batteries to be put there. I even have a little vibrator of sounding that vibrates. It's small, but it's a little bit bigger than this. Yeah, and I have all kinds of different toys, all the way from my size of my pinky all the way up to bigger than my fist. Some vibrate, some don't.
What's that vice grip thing?
Oh.
Right here.
Oh yeah, this little. This is for their balls when they want ball torture. Or sometimes on their dick, but usually on their balls. And okay. This is a fun one too.
I wish you could see the cameraman. He's just jumping back and forth anytime you mention ball.
This is for ball torture too. It's
Oh, that sound is just I'm gonna have nightmares about that sound.
And squish their balls with it too. Or clothespins is really common. Putting clothespins around their balls, makes it look like a little sunshine, and then and then if they can still hold on, I'll do like around the head of their dick, and then down the under part middle of their dick, and then I get a little mini paddle and start hitting their balls like on the same spot over and over, and until they, you know, say they've had enough, or something like this, you know, just like smaller so it doesn't hit all the clothespins. Yeah, and then sometimes I'll do like squeezing their balls and then slapping them, some like punching, you know, all kinds of different stuff. And then there's there's a lot more extreme ball torture. That
How did you get the reputation of being I forgot what you were saying. That's as far as in San Diego.
The meanest.
The meanest. How did you get that reputation?
Well, because I do lots of extreme things, and I definitely don't take any shit from anybody, and I don't take any direction. They can give their requests ahead of time, but I definitely run the session, and everybody knows that once they session with me, and I'm very strict during a session. During a session, it's a whole different demeanor. During this is just like friendly talk about it, but it's, I guess, getting into character is very serious for me. Like it's you know, it's part of what they're paying for, and I always like to make sure that everyone gets exactly what they paid for.
So is it just one character, or do you have several different characters depending on what the mission?
Oh yeah, well it's people like all kinds of different things. Some people like me to be nice during the whole session, and I have no problem doing that. But mostly, especially with any kind of punishment, corporal punishment or spanking, people like me to be very strict, and or humiliating. It's another specialty is humiliation is you know, can get pretty intense. But people say, "Oh, be as mean as you can," but that usually is a lot more intense than people bargain for. So I never give anybody 100% of humiliation the first time until they see, you know, how humiliating it can be, and then I'll maybe when I get to know them a little bit better.
I fully understand the different characters because I do impersonations of Bob Marley.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I want to like create a certain message, and it's like, oh, should I do it as myself? Should I do it as Bob? Should I do it as another one? So I understand like kind of going into a certain avatar to create a certain mission and co-creating it with the person, just like I would co-create it with the audience. So I fully understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to stop it right now, and then I want to go into like safety and talking about that.
Okay.